Have you ever stopped to think about when money first generated a strong emotion in your life? Fear, tension, relief, guilt? It probably wasn't when you opened your bank account. It was much earlier, when you were still a child and didn't even fully understand what was happening. Maybe you remember a specific scene, a whispered conversation between adults, an argument at the end of the month, a "not now" repeated many times, or that heavy silence when a bill was overdue. At that moment, you didn't learn about finances, you learned about what money means emotionally. In cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, there's a fundamental idea. The brain learns patterns from experiences, especially when they're emotionally charged. Childhood is the most fertile ground for this. It is there that so-called core beliefs are born, deep ideas that shape how we see the world and ourselves. And many of these beliefs are linked to money. Money as scarcity, money as conflict, money is something dangerous, or in some cases, money is the only source of security and personal worth. Imagine a child growing up watching their parents argue whenever the subject is money. Even if no one says anything directly, the message is clear: money causes pain. Years later, this child becomes an adult who avoids looking at bank statements, postpones financial decisions, and feels anxious just thinking about investments. It's not laziness, it's emotional conditioning. Now imagine another situation, a childhood marked by instability, financial losses, or constant changes. This adult may grow up with a silent urgency: spend while you can. The unconscious logic is simple and powerful. If I don't take advantage now, I might lose everything later. The behavior seems impulsive, but it's an attempt at protection. In the language of CBT, these behaviors are learned responses. The brain is trying to avoid pain it already knows. The problem is that it continues to react as if the past were still happening. This also appears when we talk about making money. Many people carry deep beliefs about deservingness. Some have learned that success comes with guilt. Others have grown up hearing that people like us don't get rich. When an opportunity for growth arises, something gets in the way. Procrastination, fear, self-sabotage. The automatic thought arises, "This isn't for me." These thoughts don't appear as clear sentences. They come as sensations, a discomfort, an unnamed insecurity. And for CBT, this is an important sign. Behind the emotion, there is a thought that needs to be identified. In spending, money becomes an emotional regulator. Buying brings relief, pleasure, a sense of control. For a few minutes, maybe hours, everything seems to improve. But then comes the guilt, the regret, the anxiety. CBT calls this short-term reinforcement. It works now, but it takes a heavy toll later. Up to this point, you may be recognizing yourself in some of these situations, and that's important, because the first step isn't changing the behavior, it's understanding the story behind it. When we get to the topic of investments, these beliefs become even more evident. Many people say they don't invest because they don't understand, but in practice, the fear is rarely technical, it's emotional. Fear of losing, of making mistakes, of repeating past experiences. Fear of confirming that old belief that money never stays. In cognitive behavioral therapy, there is a key point. Thoughts are not facts. They are learned interpretations. When you think, "I'm going to lose everything," that's not a prediction. It's an emotional memory disguised as logic. The work begins when you learn to identify these automatic thoughts. Question them. Where does this come from? Is this an absolute truth or a story I learned? What evidence do I have today, in the present, and not in the past? Changing your relationship with money doesn't mean ignoring risks or acting irresponsibly. It means stopping reacting on autopilot. It means replacing the question, "What if it goes wrong?" with, "What can I do consciously and gradually?" CBT proposes small behavioral changes, precisely to create new emotional experiences. Saving a little, investing a little, observing your reactions. The brain learns not through discourse, but through experience. Each secure experience weakens old beliefs. Over time, you realize something important. Money has never been just money. It's always been a symbol, of security, of value, of fear, or of freedom. And as long as you don't understand the emotional meaning it has for you, no financial strategy will hold up in the long term. There is a turning point when you look at your history without judgment. You understand that your behaviors made sense at some point. They protected you, but now they may be limiting you. And here is the most important conclusion. You don't need to repeat patterns you didn't consciously choose. Understanding your relationship with money is, at its core, an exercise of emotional autonomy. When you do this, earning money stops being about proving something. Spending stops being an escape. Investing stops being about fear. Everything starts becoming a choice. And perhaps that's the biggest change of all, getting out of autopilot and gradually taking ownership of your own financial life. Not perfect, but conscious, and that in itself is worth a lot. What we learned today. Our relationship with money begins in childhood, not with our salary. Emotions shape our financial decisions more than logic. Beliefs about money are learned, not absolute truths. Spending, avoiding spending, or being afraid to invest are emotional responses. Automatic thoughts can be questioned. Changing your relationship with money is about understanding your own history. Awareness transforms reaction into choice. If you liked the video and want more content like this, subscribe to the channel and leave a like so YouTube recommends this video to more people. Thank you for your attention, and until next time.